Edwards versus Muhammad. We had the rematch tonight. Something about Edwards looked a little bit off when I was watching. I was like, he just doesn't look like himself, and that can happen. But what I want to really focus in on is the odd little guard that he was utilizing, where he kind of was putting his arms out like this. And this is something that actually, when I did my defense course, a lot of people said, can you do a Dracula guard? And I had to look up and be like, what's a Dracula guard? And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, so it's just kind of like a long guard, but your arm across. And there are some things I don't cover, mostly because I don't think they work great. There are always going to be people out there who can make very odd things work. But we saw Edwards tonight. For some reason, he'd be in his position. He wasn't having loads of success, but mostly because he was probably just a little off. It does happen. You can't always be the best. You have nights where you're normally here, but on this night you're here. And these other guys who are just a little below you normally, well, all of a sudden, but Muhammad might be somebody who's above him all the time. I don't actually know. But I want to talk about going from this position and putting up guards like this, where you're trying to get your arms, elbows in the way. What does this do? It absolutely, and every time I've seen people do it, I'm like, uppercut the guy. He's so open. And that's exactly what Muhammad did. He was on the outside. He saw that, went, okay, these won't land, but my gosh, that is just gonna fly right up the middle and lift the head so dramatically. So if you're wanting to play with this style, these elbow out situations, you have to be very careful about recognizing you're exposed here. And because often of your positioning and the fact that you can't really see downwards as well, the uppercuts can come out of nowhere. So you have to be very particular about, okay, if I'm doing this stuff and I see something like an uppercut come and I can't make the adjustment, you're gonna have to fade back. I don't see what else could happen. So even a UFC world champion who really is a striker within the MMA world, even he showed tonight that this is not an effective defense for most people. And if it's something you guys are playing with or wanting to try, I would advise against it. Again, in my defense course, I didn't really touch on it because I went, it's just not something that the average person is going to be successful with. You're better off doing so many other things. A longer Russian guard, tight high guard, even the Philly shell. But the elbow up and leaving that big opening, few and far between can actually pull it off. So just remember, guys, I do have a defense course which you can grab, and my membership community, Strike Ready Academy, is now up and running. So you can jump on that as well. Links in the description below. Thanks for joining, guys. I'll see you back here soon for another video.